Okay, Sistas fans. Now, one of the things that I've been trying to be better at is just kind of slowing down. I know I post at a, consistent rate, where it's almost always 5 to 7 plus videos on nearly a daily basis. The weekend is the weekend is really the only time I slow down because I usually can't record since there are other people in the house, so it's not quiet. But, I've been trying to, read more comments, especially on certain discussion videos where I want to get other people's input. And, I think it was the video I posted last night about how is it, fair. I know I'm a guy, so thankfully it hasn't come across as, well, you're a guy, of course you're going to have a problem when the women do it. But no, it wasn't that. I just said, why is it fair for like the women to be able to date around and, quote unquote, upgrade their lives by, pretty much dating someone who has more than the previous guy they were with, have sex with them and whatnot. But when the men just literally call it quits with one of the women and decide, I'm just going to date other people, it's like, why is that, villainized? Like the men ain't, they ain't shit or anything. And some people were talking about, yeah, it's crazy because these women, are the main characters. I mean, they're awful. Like, who would you date? And that's why I'm doing this quick video about which sister would I date? Like, out of the 4, no, I do not consider Fatima a sister. Andy, Karen, Sabrina, Danny. If I could date one or more, who would I choose? To be honest, they're all toxic in their own way. And I know I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm perfect. That I'm not talking like personality wise. I know I don't have abs. I know I don't have straight teeth. I know I'm not wealthy and all this other stuff. But at the same time, I want peace in I can't say my home because I don't have a home per se. But essentially, I think that I would want better. I get it though. It's like there's the pretty privileged aspect of good looking people. For the most part, minus Danny, they're all relatively successful in their own way. Karen with her shop, thanks to Pam, because I mean, Karen's salon was doing all decently until Isaiah came, left and took everybody. But then Pam ratted out to health department or health inspector, and then he got closed down, and Karen's shop is booming again. Sabrina is a manager at a bank. So I feel like she knows how to manage herself money wise. And Andy is a lawyer who just got a $1.5 million settlement. So she's doing cool too. But, and then Danny, not to shame her, she works at airport, usually mooches off her friends in the early seasons, that is, and, has student loan debt, which I can relate to. But people always ask me, like, who's your favorite character on this show, or which woman would you date, that kind of thing. To me, it's usually the personality. Sometimes I will go for what many people may not consider the best looking woman on the show, but due to their personality, because sometimes you could have a beautiful woman like the first one I talk about, Karen, who I feel is so damn fine. And remember, I'm talking about the characters, not the actors, even though the actors themselves, the women are all fine, but I'm focusing on the characters. Karen is just a chocolate, oh gosh, amazing. But her personality type, and it isn't like, oh, Jeremy, you don't like a strong black woman, is that it? No, that's not it. It's the fact that she's a woman who will like slice and dice you with her tongue via her words. And yeah, I know she did that to Zach, but she doesn't do that to every guy. I mean, at first, her and Aaron, Aaron was actually changing her for the better, kind of in the same way that Fatima did for Zach. And it shows that Karen does have that caring, vulnerable side, but to just know she's capable of ripping a person apart and not even, flinching about it once. It just shows you that if you piss her off, she's just going to, go off on you. She seems to be very walled, barriers where she'll pick and choose when she wants to be vulnerable with you. And usually you kind of got to fight her. I mean, but to be fair with Karen, I'm talking really about the early seasons of Karen, pretty much pre-season 3. Yeah, we're kind of just talking about the first couple seasons here. It's hard to judge her due to the fact that she was still in that on-again, off-again thing with Zach and all the drama that Aaron's ex's family put her through. At some point, it's really hard to determine who the real Karen is when you think about it. But I think for me, it's just the fact that Karen has a nasty attitude and, you know, misery loves company. I just wouldn't pick her as the woman I would date. I am good at foot rubs, though, and apparently she does like that when Aaron does it. Okay, Danny, for the streets, I don't even feel like Danny knows that Danny isn't ready for a real relationship. You know, most would describe me as the sweet guy that Preston is. I don't think I'm as simple, but I'm very just, you know, straight, you know, focused and whatnot. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm simple. But if we're talking simple in terms of a man who works and loves, you know, like he works, he does his job, makes money and whatnot, knows how to keep up a house, you know, in terms of, you know, clean and cook and whatnot, and he wants to care for the woman that he cares, you know, loves and whatnot, then yeah, you can call me simple. But Danny ain't about that life. Danny, you know, if she had never met Preston, she would be sleeping around with the booty liquor and El Fuego every other day. It's just that Preston was so different to what she's used to. She was left, you know, discombobulated, like she doesn't know how to function afterwards. But I don't think Danny's a bit too wild for me. No, I know I'll be boring to her. That's the best way to put it. Andy is just a mess. Fine as hell, but just a mess. I mean, I feel like Andy would only go out with me if Gary pissed her off. She would tease me. I'll probably like that. And then she'd be done with me. So I don't think Andy's the one. I don't think she's loyal. Yeah, that's not, I don't think, I know Robin asked Fatima, but I don't think Andy's loyal. And then the one I would most likely say I would go out on a date with is Sabrina. I think out of the 4, Sabrina would be the one I would go out with. Chocolate goddess. Is the fact that I'm not, I guess you could say my sexuality isn't questionable like Calvin's is, because I'm not a macho man, but I'm not a feminine, you know, whatever Calvin is. But, you know, Danny described the men that she usually goes for as, you know, tatted up, bulky, thug, that kind of thing. Which, to be honest, I think this is the detriment of having her just stuck on Calvin for so long. We typically don't see these women engage with the type of guys that the other girls claim. Oh, Andy, you like this guy. Karen, you like that kind of guy. Sabrina, you like that kind of guy. It's like Tyler Perry almost purposefully paired these women up with men who are nothing like they usually go for. Aaron isn't like Zach. Preston doesn't seem to be like any of the guys we saw Danny chasing around like in early season 1. Jacoby seemed to fit the bill for what Sabrina usually goes for. But obviously Calvin is nothing like Jacoby. And Andy, I want to be honest here. Part of me feels like, you know, she thrives off the drama. And I don't know, sometimes her desperation to be with somebody supersedes her own safety when it comes to abuse. So yeah, that's a hard pill. You know, that's a hard subject to talk about. But yeah, I think Sabrina would definitely be the one I would date. Due to the fact I feel like we could, you know, have great conversations. Her indecisiveness, I do feel like really just comes into play when it comes to Calvin. You know, I feel like I would be more consensual than Jacoby. I wouldn't just go up inside of her when she's saying no, no, no. But, you know, I do feel like Sabrina would be the, and I hate to use this word, but the safe choice. I just feel like we would probably have more in terms of compatibility. We got vinyl collections. She seems like a, hey, I'm going to go to work and come home. I'll go out with the girls every once in a while. That, you know, basically I'll hang out with my friends every once in a while. And she seems very cuddly. I don't know why I don't know why I'd say that, but I feel like she's the most cuddly. I feel like I don't care. I got flab, not abs, so I'm kind of like a teddy bear. I feel like she like that. Yeah, I date Sabrina. So, yeah, out of the 4 women, Sabrina would be the one that I personally would choose to go out on a date with. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And also, if I, was a customer at her bank, she would know how much money I had. So there's that aspect of it. But whatever. Let me know, out of the 4 women, who would you date? I know a lot of y'all like, what about Jasmine? Well, I'm talking about the Sistas. So thanks so much for tuning in. Hope everybody's having a great day. So make sure you take a moment to hit the thumbs up button to show you like the video. Hit subscribe. And, you're helping out the channel a lot. We are less than 500 people away from 200,000 subscribers here on the channel. Hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. And if you'd like to donate to the channel so I can put money in the bank and have an excuse to see Sabrina at work, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App.